This video, I want to actually talk to those people that are actually walking more or running more. So firstly, congratulations. I know starting a new habit. Hi, this is Cameron Corrish from Core Health Coaching. I hope you're well. I just wanted to talk to those people that are actually walking more or running more at the moment. Firstly, congratulations in regards to taking that extra time to look after your health and to start a new habit. I know it's not easy to start a new habit. You might be doing more, but at the same time, this might be a brand new habit for you. So congratulations for taking action and really looking after your health during isolation. So if it's okay, what I wanted to do was actually give you some tips in relation to reducing your pain or any potential injuries. Because one of the things that we find is that a lot of people, when they're exercising more, create more tightness in their body and then actually start to have some imbalances and then start to get some niggles and some joints that are sort of cracking. So you may be feeling that at the moment. So this video is very much to give you some corrective exercises and stretching that will relieve that and hopefully reduce any sort of pain or sort of injury that you might be getting. So after 10 years of experience working with walkers and runners, we find that there's some common sort of muscles that are either weak or tight that causes a lot of postural based issues that cause this injury and pain. So I wanted to run through those with you and hopefully make a real difference in regards to your ability to continue to walk and making sure that it's pain-free. So the first one is that, when we're actually exercising, and one of the reasons why we want to exercise is we want to create some tight muscles. We want to get fitter and stronger. But in doing so, what we might do is create these imbalances where one muscles are tighter than the other and then create some pain that's actually happening at a joint level. So I want to go through some of these muscles that become tight through walking or running. So the first one that most people would probably be aware of is our quad muscles, which is the upper part of our thigh, and our calf muscle, which is the lower part of our leg on the back side or on the posterior side. So in this video, I'm not going to show you this specific exercise, but if you like this post, what will happen is I will add those videos to some previous ones that I've actually done, so you've got the instructions of those specific exercises. But today is very much talking about why we're doing those exercises. Those quad and calf muscles, most people sort of know what to do with that area, and they actually feel that because when they're running or walking is that they feel those tight muscles and will stretch them just as a normal part of their exercise. The next one that's probably the biggest culprit in regards to a lot of pain, and especially a lot of lower back pain and maybe some niggling sort of knees, is our hip flexors. Now, our hip flexors are connected to the top part of our quad muscle or the front part of that thigh, connected to our pelvic bone. Now, what that does is actually responsible is that every time you lift your leg up, is that hip flexor is engaged. What it also does is when it becomes very tight, it can actually tilt our pelvis forward towards our quad muscle and then sort of arch our lower back. So what we want to do is we want to be able to stretch that hip flexor muscle. And then what we also want to do is, because it pulls that lower back and arches that lower back, we want to stretch that lower back as well. So that sort of one is our hip flexor that we want to stretch. We've also got that quad and the calf muscles. And the last one through there is another muscle or tendon that a lot of people aren't aware of, is called our ITB, so our iliac tiliac band. And it's positioned from our knee up to our hip, and it's on the outside part of our leg, pretty much where that hemline is, sort of that stitching that's coming up through the side. So that particular one is, you can do some stretches through there, but what we found is that some trigger point therapy, also some fascia releasing is actually probably best. So you can do that with a trigger ball or a foam roller, but it's responsible for a lot of that lateral movement of the legs. So if you're finding that you're running like you're on a horse and your legs sort of coming out to the side, is that potentially that could be tight ITBs. And what we want to do is making sure that knee is tracking over where your foot is, so that we don't then create a lot of knee-based issues. So that ITB can be released. Massage can do the same sort of thing, but foam roller trigger point therapy, you can actually do that on a regular basis. So the other thing to think of and consider when you're actually walking and running more is that you've got these tight muscles, but the other thing that what you want to do is actually think about the muscles that are corresponding to those tight muscles then become weak. So we want to actually build a little bit of strength in those. So as an example, we talked about the quad and the calf muscles. One of the muscles that becomes weaker when we do more of that work is our glute or our bottom, and also our hamstring muscles. So the simple exercise to do for that one is our hip extensions. And if you think about it, we was talking about releasing our hip flexors, and then this is a hip extension. So it's actually going to help both in regards to stretching that hip flexor, but also then building strength in the glutes or the bottom. Now, most women I know would like a more tone to the bottom, so I don't get a lot of argument with that, but it's really good around taking pressure off the knees and the lower back, is those glutes or the bottom should be a lot tighter. Unfortunately, we don't see a lot of runners that do a lot of glute work, but the top athletes actually do. So definitely sort of working through the glutes are going to make a big difference. And corresponding with that is also our core muscles, which are responsible for stabilizing our spine and stabilizing that hip as well. So our lower abdominal specifically is one I'm thinking of. So we've got the glutes and the lower abdominal that will help stabilize that hip. So the next one then is our glute medius muscle. Now this is part of our big muscle group through the glutes, but it's specifically this muscle is the top part of our glutes and on the outside. It's responsible again for this this lateral sort of movement that can actually happen with our knees coming out to the side. So we want that one to be fairly strong. Now, it's really unique in regards to it can be strong and tight, strong and weak at the same time. So there's a couple of exercises with that, but the first one is then our clamshell. And with the clamshell, where I will post those photos, but we're lifting our knees up, trying to work that glute medius, and then also doing some trigger point therapy on there to actually relieve any sort of pain. So hopefully those exercises will make a difference in regards to your walking or running, definitely reducing pain and any sort of injuries that you've got there. Obviously, I don't know your specific circumstances, but as a general rule, they are critical in regards to making sure that you continue to walk and run pain-free. And the great thing about those is they don't take a lot of time. So if you've got any questions, please let me know. Add some questions onto this post. If you do want a copy of those videos, please like this post. But otherwise, keep walking and running. I'm so impressed and so proud, and congratulations on taking a step and prioritising your health. So thank you again. Talk to you soon. Bye.